guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are watching Riverdale Season 2 Episode 19. Wow, we're so close to the season finale, and as usual, I'm so excited for this episode. And as you all know, I didn't watch any trailers or any promos about this episode, so I have no idea on what's going to happen. And before we dig in, let's do a recap from last week's episode, which is a really good episodes, probably by far one of my favorite episodes of Riverdale yet. So last week's episode is a musical, which is a great episode. I love it. Great singing, great voices. Wow, I can tell you all of the cast of Riverdale are not just good looking, as well as they really have talents in dancing, in singing, in acting. Wow, these people are perfect. It's just so good. The songs are great. My favorite one is the last song they sing. I think it's a night you'll never forget, a night to remember. I think that's the title of the last song they did, which is super great. And except for Jughead, they didn't sing in this entire episode. She's just videotaping things. So, and of course, there's a lot of reconciliation and realization on this episode. First, we've got Betty and Veronica. They make things up for themselves. They reconciled, and at first Betty has been so mean to Veronica. She's like a full-on dark Betty. That time when she's telling Veronica that she's a spoiled rich girl with daddy issues, and she's the perfect embodiment of grace, and she's perfectly typecast on the role of Grace, and it's just so good, that confrontation scene. But Archie talked to Betty and telling her that she didn't actually know what Veronica's feeling and what Veronica's been going through. So Betty talked to Veronica, and Veronica telling her that she's aware of what she's done, and she's being a bad friend to Betty and to everyone. And then they make up things through singing. They sing a song, and I think they're good now. Not really good, but I think that it's a step to be back as best friends. So, and then there's also a reconciliation of Fred and Archie. Okay, at first Archie is hiding to Fred about the car that Hiram gave him. He asked Veronica to park the car on the Pembroke, and of course Hiram Lodge, being evil and being a douchebag, go to this school and ask Archie on how the car is going on, of course, with Fred there. Fred knows about the car, and he's pissed because it's his dream to buy a car on the junkyard, and for him and Archie to fix this car like what his father did to him. And it's just so sad. And thank God Archie come to realize what is done, and he's got a realization on how bad his Hiram is. And so he returns the car to Hiram and tells Hiram that don't go in between with him and Fred, because that's a battle he'll never win. And thank God that Archie did that. Thank God. And then, of course, Archie, to make up with his dad, he bought this car, a jalopy, to the junkyard, and he told his dad that they're gonna fix it and they're gonna work things out little by little. And there's a lot of things to work on. And of course, Fred, being happy, she got teary-eyed, and it's just so good. And then of course we've got Alice. I'm so sad for Alice. She's she had a breakdown on that stage when she was rehearsing. She had a breakdown and she asked Betty to not leave her just like the others, and I feel for her because Polly left and Chick left because she drove him away, and that's her realization that they never left her. She drove them away. So of course Betty, feeling bad about it, she convinced her dad to go back home, and of course Hal, which is so hilarious, Hal go there and get this flower, and of course Alice is allergic to that flower. Just like, what the f, Hal? You've been married for decades and you didn't know what your wife is allergic to. But man, wherever is Alice is happy, I'm on for it. Even though I love FP and Alice, because at first Alice is flirting with FP, but FP is just like ignoring her, and then at the end when FP go to this play and he saw Alice and Hal being alright together, she seemed a little jealous, or he's really jealous because he walked out of that auditorium. And then of course we've got Cheryl and Josie. Of course Josie is still mad about Cheryl after she finds out about the pig's heart and the drawings, that she's the one who's sending him stuff and threatening her. Of course Josie will be mad, I'll be mad, but of course Cheryl asking for forgiveness, and I love her for that she's aware of what she's done, and she knew that it was bad, and she told Josie that she's battling her inner demons. So I feel for Cheryl, and of course they made up for singing. They sing a song, a beautiful song, and it's just so good. And of course they're okay now. And again, I think they're not full on okay, but they're taking steps slowly to be good friends again. And speaking of Cheryl and her mother, she's an evil person. She didn't give permission to Cheryl to be the Carrie of the musical, the lead cast of the musical. So Cheryl can't do anything. She backed out of the play, and of course Tony is there to talk to her, and of course Tony said to him that she gotta show her mother who's in charge, and Cheryl said she's not the same person anymore, and Tony said yes you are, and you're still the same mean girl who's crazy and who's gonna take over or taking control of your household. So Cheryl took her advice, walked into the Thistle house full on with blood on all her body, holding a candelabra and looking just like Carrie, and she threatened her mother, and she wants to be emancipated because he burned Thistle house, and she's okay burning she's burned Turnhill, and she's okay burning another house again. So Penelope is pretty terrified about it, and she asked Cheryl on what she wants. So Cheryl wants to be emancipated. He wants Thistle house for her nana and for her and her nana. And that line, she said that last line where you and Uncle Claudius are pig people and should live with pigs. I love that. That line is iconic, and it's just so good. The delivery, this show, so good. And speaking of Cheryl being recast, and part of that is because there's an alleged Blackhood wants to Cheryl to be recasted. So Kevin asked Cheryl also to be recast, and only to find out at the end that I think it was Ethel, or maybe they want to think that they want us to think that it was Ethel, and man, I don't really trust Ethel still now, but I don't know what to think. But towards that end, we also got to see something going on with Fangs and Midge. I think they were kissing because when Kevin opened that door, they kind of pulled back from each other. I think they were making out, and Moose finds out about it. That's why he's angry. And of course, there's Chic going on the backstage, and Betty tells her to you're not allowed to be backstage. He's one of the suspects, especially when that last scene when the camera pans at him. She's just casually sitting there at the back, like she's not faced on of the dead girl on that stage. And speaking of the dead girl, rest in peace, Midge Clump. We never really know Midge, but I cared about her. I liked her, but she's just a victim. And there you go. Blackhood is back. With the line, with the blood written behind Midge. Those who escape him will die. Of course, those who escape him is Fred and Moose. Maybe Betty and Archie. So this is gonna go intense. And enough with this talking. Enough with this recap. I'm so excited to dig into this episode. So without further ado, let's watch Season 2, Episode 19 of Riverdale.
Previously on Riverdale.
Yeah.
Mr. Svensson!
Joseph Svensson, as you know, he was a troubled.
It's not
Do you think
Svensson.
we got the right guy?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure we did.
It's not him. I still think it's Hal. One of my suspects is Sheriff Keller or Hal Cooper. Of course, what's better to start off this episode than Cheryl
Angel of
singing?
death had once more come to Riverdale.
It's so
Midge
sad.
Clump's gruesome murder had got it.
Wait, letters? What letters?
I was jealous, okay?
Oh.
Cheryl always gets everything she wants.
Oh.
But I wasn't gonna hurt anybody. I just wanted the part.
Blackhood.
But something has always felt wrong to me about what happened on the bridge that night. And now Midge is dead.
Svensson was the Black Hood.
No, he's not.
I wanted you to know that the sheriff department is working around.
Oh.
You were supposed to be protecting our children. Your days of failing this town over and over again are numbered. Sheriff.
Cheryl.
I looked into the Black Hood's eyes. They weren't Mrs. Svenson's eyes.
Hey, how do we know that chick had nothing to do with Midge? This is the same guy that killed someone in
Yeah.
the using the land.
Yeah, well, Chick did that for. I can't bear the thought of anything bad happening to you.
Oh, I love them. I love them too. Oh. No. Don't. Oh, it's so creepy. Whew. Who is that? Who is that? Oh my god.
Deputy outside.
Midge was murdered in an auditorium full of people. You really think a deputy can stop the Black Hood?
Right,
Crisis comes opportunity.
You know, I was very moved by the speech you gave at Midge's funeral.
It came from the core of my bosom. It's a travesty what happened to Midge. If only Riverdale had more competent law enforcement. What?
And what he became.
Could we check Charles's files
This
to see
man,
if the dates
I don't
match?
trust her anymore. After
I'm
they
sure you
did
had
to
the
Cheryl,
court
what they
order
did to
demanding such a
Cheryl,
request.
no.
No, we don't. Camp. So unless you cooperate, we'll be back with the court order and the FBI to shut you down.
Apparently Charlie's run away 9 years
Again,
ago.
Betty with black
Let me see what
nails.
overlap is
I love her.
forward.
Oh, wait, sister, are you sure this is my brother's file?
Yes, dear. Charles Smith, that's his photo.
That's not my brother, Sister Woodhouse.
It most certainly is. I never forget my children. Besides, you can see the family resemblance plain as day.
It's not. I knew it. It is an imposter. What? Maybe the real chick is dead and the fake chick killed him. Oh my god, Archie, what are you doing?
Who's there?
Who's there? Get out of there! What?
Who are you? Why the hell are you following me?
Are you not scared?
My brother! What is this picture? What does it all mean?
That's what we're trying to figure out, Mrs. Cooper. The truth.
Chick knows.
Get out of there! Oh, thank God, Betty.
So I was able to recruit Cheryl myself, it turns out. She was all too happy to be of assistance.
It's just the beginning, but I can't breathe properly because of what's happening here.
He's with me, babe. How you been, Ronnie?
Of course.
Nick St. Sicko,
Next
why are you calling me
here.
from my boyfriend's phone?
So that you'd believe me when I say that I have him, Ronnie.
My vixens and I will see to it.
Oh god, tension everywhere. I love this episode.
Falice. He practically slammed the door in his face. He said, "We're not interested." You remember it, don't you? Charles went on a bender that night. He OD'd on Jingle Jangle.
You watch him.
I got goosebumps, no!
Mom. He's telling the truth. There was a boy and I turned him away. This boy. He knocked on the door and I asked him to leave. It was me, Betty. I'm responsible for my own son's death. No, I killed my son.
Mom, we don't know who that is in the basement or what he wants.
Revenge. He's seeking revenge. I gave my son away. And then he came to me and I turned him away. This demands biblical punishment.
Mom, the only one who's guilty here is him.
Stay here, Betty. You watch him. I'll be back.
Back.
Where are you going?
Mom, where are you going? What if Dad comes home?
Nick,
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
understand. You have to let me
This is
go.
going all
But
over.
right now, there's a killer on the loose.
Oh my god.
Blackhood, you heard about him.
I thought he was dead.
He may not be. And Nick,
Oh, Veronica. You're not thinking straight. But what the hell? It's your parents' money and they probably
That
get
article
it from
sure
crime, so
You can't take that to
whatever.
heart.
No more secrets. No
It's
more
his son.
lies.
It's his
I
son.
should have told you. Sooner, maybe something would have been different.
It's his son. It's his son.
I had your baby. Its name, I named him Charles. I had to give him up for adoption.
Slow down, slow down.
He came to see me and I turned him away. And now he's dead. He's dead because of me. I killed our son. Do you remember us being in high school?
Yeah, I remember Alice, but
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. No, I have to go in.
Alice, Falice. Hey,
Betty and
are
George
you
were
talking?
waiting for
Are
me.
you talking about Chick?
No, Chick is someone else. Chick is. You don't understand what I've done. FP, you don't understand what I was responsible for.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
knew
It's
it.
okay.
I knew it. Oh, I heard that song again. I can't stop crying. This episode is so good.
Hello, Betty.
Later, when I took my trash out, I saw bloody sheets and pillows in the dumpster.
She killed him.
We know you murdered my brother.
You'll never know.
Ah,
Couldn't agree more.
did she poison him? Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to cut you loose. And then we are going to leave. Out the basement door.
What are we gonna do with him now?
Concierge is sending out the power drill. I'm kidding. But I do have an idea. Mr. St. Clair, I have your son Nick here with me. I'm wondering how much it's worth to you getting him back in one piece.
No. Oh hell. Oh no. No. This is crazy. Are they gonna really kill Chick? Oh, Betty, you should have shot the Blackhood. Oh,
Dad? Archie's prison was built with its own ambition and rage. And he just handed Hiram Lodge the keys.
Where did you take Chick?
I took him to the bus station.
Oh no. You lied.
And then what?
What? What?
Where's Dad?
He went looking for you. Why do you ask?
What? 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 No. No. Is that the end? Is that really the end? What? Is Hal the Black Hood? Hal Cooper is the Black Hood, right? Shh. Wow. There you go, guys. The latest episode of Riverdale Season 2, Episode 19. What an amazing episode. Black Hood is finally back. And he's really back. And that ending though, I think Hal is the Black Hood. And it's just so intense. Chick is the imposter. I knew it. He's an imposter. And poor Alice. I cried there when Alice finds out the real Chick is dead, and the real Chick once knocked on that door and they turned him away. And I'm just and FT Chick, Charles Smith is FT and Alice's son, which what everybody has been predicting, but too bad he's dead. And of course Betty delivered Chick to the Black Hood, which is so crazy. Nick is back and he kidnapped Archie, and of course Veronica turning the tables and instead asking for ransom from Nick's parents. And it's just a crazy episode. All in all, very good episode. Another favorite. This show, man, it's amazing. I can't wait for next week episodes. So Let me know your thoughts about this episodes in the comment section down below, and hit the thumbs up button if you love Riverdale reactions, and please subscribe for more reactions every week, and please check out my other reaction videos. I do The Flash, I do Arrows, I do other stuff. Please check out on the description the links. Please check out on on the links on the description down below, and just thank you for watching.